Festivals. I'm sure you're all very interested in knowing what's going to happen. And so let's see if we can start some live events again. Let's do a little unveiling here, okay? So this is the 75th anniversary of the festival, City as we call it, and these are the festivals that make up our portfolio. The three festivals that began it all are these, and these are the original programs for two of them, the International Film Festival and the International Festival itself. The Fringe, as some of you know, didn't happen really in that year. 8 companies turned up uninvited in 1947, and a local journalist wrote in a column the following year that around the Fringe, some interesting things were happening, and the name stuck. So that's where the Fringe comes from. So these three festivals are the basis of our programs to this day, and these are the 11 festivals and the dates for this year. Some of them are out in the public world at this very moment. So you've got the Science Festival, which launched its program a few weeks ago and opens on the 9th of April with a big major event in the City Arts Centre, which will allow kids to go back in to do what they love best, which is dissecting eyeballs and making blood and all those things. They love getting their hands dirty. This is a big thing for the Science Festival as well, but there's something out in the real world at the moment which you all might enjoy, and that is an environmental cocktail trail around the city. A number of the cocktail outlets in the city at the moment have got together to create special cocktails using environmental themed ingredients and methods. And so you can find out more about that on the Science Festival website. I've done the trail myself. It brings a new meaning to the word circular economy. The Children's Festival is also out in the world at the moment, and it opens on the 7th of May with a big family day in the National Museum. This is where a lot of artists are commissioned to create new work, especially for younger audiences. And when I say younger audiences, there are special shows for 0 to 2-year-olds, and then further on up into the teenage years. So it's a very segmented programming within that day. And then we have a series of work with a special focus on Flanders throughout the coming period of the festival itself. It's the UK premier festival for theatre and dance for young children. It's where actually we get a major delegates from all over the world coming to see great work that they then take to their own festivals. It's actually one of those things that happens below the kind of line, the trade element that you never really see, but the huge delegates come because this is such a special festival. The International Festival, as I say, launched last night, and it opens on the 5th of August with a major free event at BT Murrayfield. A show called Macro, which is a joint commission with the Adelaide Festival, will take place to an audience of which will be in the tens of thousands. It's free. It's going to be a major event. It's physical theatre, dance, acrobatic, hip-hop, music. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a major free event to begin the festival, and then we're back into that idea of the International Festival bringing world cultures together, as it did at the very beginning in 1947, this idea of bringing international cultures together. The Fringe full program isn't out yet, but at the beginning of each month, new acts are added onto the Fringe roster, so there are tickets for sale now for lots of different major artists. For some reason, Jason Byrne always comes to my mind when I say that. It's probably because the last time I was at the Fringe in a major way, I was on the front row, unfortunately, of a Jason Byrne concert. It's not a good place to be. It's like being on the front row of a Frankie Boyle concert. You just don't want a concert. Yeah, actually, the reason I say concert is because he got me to sing. Wasn't a good experience, but we're expecting by the end of June to launch the Fringe in a major way, and so it's really going to be exciting to see the Fringe coming back into the rightful place of the city centre and dispersed across the city itself, a major presence for the Fringe. The tattoo's already on sale. It hasn't taken place for the last 2 years. It has a new director. It has a theme around voices, how voices have connect us all and have reconnected during the pandemic. There's this idea of how singing voices, we saw it in Italy, choral, people singing from balconies. This idea of the singing voice, how it can be very important in bringing people together. So this is going to be the theme, and in the next couple of weeks, they're going to make a further announcement about their program. But tickets are on sale at the moment. We've got all these other festivals about to launch. We've got the film festival will launch in July. Jazz has an announcement on I think it's the 6th of May. Book festival will be in June, around the 8th, 9th of June. They're all gearing up. The momentum is building. They always say in the political world, they always talk about the big mo, the momentum. The momentum is building for what we hope will be a great festival year. And to that end, people have been asking, what are we doing to promote this? Because there's a lot going to happen. So
Edinburgh's festival scene first began in 1947 as a platform for the flowering of the human spirit. With 11 festivals all year round, nowhere else on earth does it bloom so magnificently. Join us in 2022 for our 75th anniversary year.
So we're taking variations of digital films out into the world, geolocated to target cities and target populations across the UK and in other territories as well. Digital is obviously the main channel of our operation, but we're also reconnecting with a lot of the media around the world that have been coming to the festival over the years from different countries. They've been writing about what's going to happen and how this is a unique place where artists and thinkers and scientists get together and collaborate. We have a number of partners to that effect with lots of different organisations. These are just a few of them. Like we've got Visit Scotland and Visit Britain and Lonely Planet, and I'm particularly interested that LNER, without us really pushing them, used our strapline, which is the world's leading festival city. It's great that got into their consciousness. So this is what we're trying to do. This is our kind of idea, and we'd like you to get involved. We've got lots of imagery, video, fact sheets, and if you contact us, we can provide them with you, for you to use in whatever way you want. If you see a story on our website you like, just use it. We're quite comfortable with you using it, because the idea is that we want to get this message out far and wide. But also, this is how we can help you. We want you to help us. And so this is where I'm going to get you to do a little bit of voting for us using the Slido. You can just get ready for it. You can hang on a minute. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of that was me just getting you ready. But I just want to move into this idea of how you can help us. We've got a messaging framework of 5 different areas. And I'm going to ask you to rank these in a minute, okay? But I just want to run through them very quickly. This idea of authentic. We all hear about authenticity. Some of our speakers have already mentioned it. This idea, it's a huge trend, has been, it's accelerating further and further. We know that we've got this idea that the festivals are rooted within our city and our landscape. Why is the world's most prestigious literature festival in Edinburgh, the Book Festival? Well, it's because of the history of publishing and writing, the fact we're a UNESCO City of Literature. All of these things give us an authenticity. It's also connected with the fact that the people of the city see us as very important as well. These are the stats that back up the fact that, the last time the People Survey was done, 66% of people said they attended, locals said they attended the festivals. This is incredible statistics. So we think we're very in a strong position for this idea that we're rooted in our city. That's one of our messages. The second is this idea of discovery. From our own research, we know that people want to come to the festival to discover new talent, new genres, new ideas, new thinking. And they've done this over the years. There's lots of famous things start here and develop here, and they're engaging. And the whole industry around comedy can say to have begun in Edinburgh through the very first Perrier Award back in '81, which you can see up the top right, the first Perrier Award winners. So this idea that we are a place of unique cultural discovery, that's one of the interesting things we think is very important for us. The emotional side is tied into the idea of authenticity and discovery, but this is the idea that people want something different, especially when they're coming out of the pandemic. They want these emotional experiences. Visit Scotland will actually produce a really good document on this idea of emotional tourism. And we know that certain segments of the population are looking for these emotional experiences. They want, whether it's food and drink or events and festivals, they really want these emotional connections. So we think our key message here is sensational memories, senses, the emotions, sensational memories. The fourth is this idea of responsible. So people are wanting businesses and everybody to be more responsible. When they say responsible, it could be social responsibility, but actually in this instance, we're talking about environmental responsibility. There's a lot of research out there that is saying how people want to change their behaviours, especially following the last 2 years of the pandemic. They want to make more sustainable choices. We know that people are talking about how they might shift their whole attitudes towards positive changes in society. We've produced a document to this effect back in October about what we will do. And the Science Festival at this moment has got a net zero toolkit for all businesses in the city to take that first step. So our key message here is we take our responsibilities seriously. And the fifth and final of this message framework is safe and secure. We've just heard before the coffee break about the reality that's out there. And in the cultural world, this is the reality of the people that used to come. 30% of them are saying they're still hesitant to come back. That's the reality. And we know that certain behaviours are seen as more or less risky for those cultural audiences. So one of the things we've got to do is we've got to message to them in a way that makes them feel secure. So our key message here will be, especially with this around the corner affecting American markets, that we are a safe and welcoming environment. So our question to you, this is where you do pull out your phone and get ready, is rank those 5 messages, where 1 is the highest priority. So on your screen, on your phone, you should have these 5, and you just hit them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you do that, if you think they're in the wrong order for you, you can just move it as well. You can move with using the plus sign on the right-hand side for each of these. So just go ahead and vote, or not vote, rank. This is proportional representation, I think, rather than first past the post system. Okay, so we're just waiting on the results. Interesting. Okay. Obviously, there's bleed in there. It's very interesting that the safe and secure is the one that is the least. So that's interesting that the authentic, the emotional comes out on top. So thank you for being my research focus group. We will take this into our messaging, and we really hope that everybody has a great year, and find out more at our website. Thanks very much.